Hey y'all, and welcome to my world. My name is LaShonda, and thank you for tuning in to Her and All Them Kids podcast. I am so happy you guys have clicked on to listen to me. Thank you. Please send my link or my QR code to your family, friends, loved ones, enemies, whoever. This is a building of a community. It's not many parents out there that have that support. So I am trying to build a community so we can support each other. Her and all them kids.com. Bear with me because I am a working mom that has two jobs and I have four kids. I am slowly but surely getting this website together so that I can inform you guys of any information that is sent to me or given to me. But how y'all doing? Kids going back to school this week. Yay! Listen, teacher called me and said she was coming out here to my apartment complex to drop off the bus tags for the kids. I said, okay. She said, it's going to be a group of us. I said, a group of white women coming into this apartment complex. Y'all going to look like the jump outs. Let me be jealous. Don't be coming to me. I am not no informant. No, but they came out here and my son loves his teachers. So he seen them. He ran to them. He jumped in her arms and he started crying. She say, he got such a big heart. I say, I know in agreements, but in my head, I said, he is tired of me. They didn't go to camp this summer. I done had them in here in boot camp cleaning up. They are tired of me. I get it. I'm not even offended because I'm tired of them too. But I was so excited to see them go out to school. So I am praying for each and every last single child that they will make it school safely and they will come home safely. I forgot to say Jesus is everything and God is real. I want to always acknowledge this type of opportunity to come and talk to y'all about my world, the chaos that goes on in it, and everything that's in between. My last episode, I discussed a little bit about my children. I said that in future episodes, we was going to discuss their diagnosis. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about my kids' diagnosis and the characteristics I've seen in my kids. I wonder if it's the same in your kids. Please let me know. You can log on to herandallthemkids.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says community. You can leave me a message. Tell me if you see this in your kids, if you could identify these characteristics. I don't know, but I would love to hear it. We're going to start off with my oldest. My oldest name is Elijah. I had Elijah at 23 weeks and 5 days. Elijah was born 1 pound, 8.3 ounces. They do not know what caused him to come early. And to be truthfully honest, I was not prepared to be a mom. I ate unhealthy. I just didn't take it serious, the pregnancy as serious as I should have. And he was in the hospital for 119 days. I was at the hospital for 119 days. I actually stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for that duration because I lived in another city and I had him in the town that I was born in. Elijah had LASIK surgery while he was in the hospital for his eyes. They typically give premature babies, they're around 26 weeks, this LASIK surgeries if they need it, if the veins are not growing the way they are supposed to grow for the development of the eye. Elijah's was not. He received the surgery, and I think like a couple of days later when I went to visit him, he might have just woken up from being sedated from the surgery. I noticed a moonlight shape in his eye. I spoke to the nurses about it, and I spoke to the doctors about it. And I also reached out to the physician that performed the procedure, and he was on vacation. In this time frame, Elijah was in transition to go into NICU 2, if I'm not mistaken, because he was doing so well. So they was transitioning him to NICU 2. And he got in NICU 2. I think he had another exam by that physician. He was being discharged. We had to go to another hospital that specialized in the eyes. That's when he was diagnosed with retinopathy of prematurity. That retinopathy of prematurity has led my child to be legally blind. So Elijah is legally blind. His primary diagnosis is mental retardation. Then it's the retinopathy of prematurity, and he is diagnosed with autism. I want to speak on that mental retardation. Reason why he was diagnosed with the mental retardation, because of course his brain did not develop like it was supposed to. And that word is such derogatory towards us, but it's actually a medical diagnosis. I have applied for Elijah to go to the School for the Deaf and Blind maybe 3 times, and all 3 times he was denied due to cognitive. At first, I did not understand. Once I educated myself, I think they made the proper choice, because the School for the Deaf and Blind is for kids that function more with their ADLs versus kids who don't. So what I mean by that is Elijah is still in continence. So even though the kids stay overnight at the School for the Deaf and Blind, I live within the proximity of the school. So Elijah wouldn't stay overnight. He is total care. They would have to care for him more than they would have to with the other students. So I definitely understand. He currently goes to an all special needs school, McCarthy Tesler. I definitely want to give them a shout out. My son has been there for 8 years. I have seen the growth that he has within that school. They are very hands-on. So big shout out to McCarthy Tesler for dealing with me. Cause I ain't easy. I ain't easy when it comes to my kids. I don't play about my children. But big shout out to McCarthy Tesler. Elijah frails and he spins. When Elijah was 1 year old, I remember just observing him. I used to just watch him, and I noticed that he wasn't doing some of the things that 1 year olds would typically do, even though he was born early. Let me be clear. I was very ignorant to his situation. I took it serious as a parent. I treated him normal. So I did not understand a lot of what was going on. I was not in tune. I was ignorant to it until I went to school. Once I went to school and obtained my degree in healthcare is when I started to understand everything that was going on with my son. Elijah just was not doing what kids was doing at 1 year old. And I remember asking the therapist when she would come in the home, like, why he not? I know he legally blind, but he still should be able to talk. He still should be doing the things that 1 year olds do. Ray Charles is blind. He talk and play the piano. What's going on with Elijah? And so she broke it down to me. Another thing that she did not agree with was the autism diagnosis. She said Elijah's characteristic with him being legally blind goes hand in hand with autism. So she didn't feel as if Elijah was autistic. They did offer me to take the genetic testing with Elijah, and I declined it because I was like, his issues is coming from him being born early. So I declined taking the genetic test for Elijah. Also, Elijah had an issue with his airway because he was intubated for so long. He received scar tissue on his throat. So he has stridor. Along with going to that specialty hospital for the eyes, we had him checked out with gastro. They performed numerous procedures on him to see how he was swallowing, and come to find out his airway was narrow. What they did was take a rib out of his stomach, crack it open, and put it in his throat to open up his airway. This procedure is called laryngotracheoplasty. My baby was in the hospital for 3 weeks on a chemical coma, and we had to stay in the city where the hospital was for those 3 weeks. That was a lot. That was overwhelming for my first child. That was a lot for me. So if you are a first time parent and you have similar stories to what I'm saying, my prayers and my love is for you, because a lot of people go into the situation not knowing the full dynamic that goes along with it, and it is hard, and you don't have someone that you could talk to. I journal a lot. I wrote a lot. I have stacks of notebooks that is my thoughts, and there are my prayers. I did not understand, but I thank God. Staying down there for over almost a month, and then having him come home, he did not want to eat food that he had to bite into. I don't know if that was a side effect of him being on the NG tube. I don't know if that was a side effect of that. I fed him mushy food, mushy fries. His main thing, and still now to this day, is oatmeal. I fed him maybe oatmeal 3-4 times a day in order for him to have the protein, the calories, and all that, because he just was not eating food from me. Now he'll go to my mama's house. It's something about them grandmamas. Now he'll go over there and he would eat, but he just would not eat from me. And don't say it was my cooking, because let's be for real, I've been fat all my life. It was not my cooking, because I didn't cook at that time. But he just didn't eat. So now growing up, he eats. I feeds him like I'm feeding a hungry man. Like, that's how much he eat. I feed Elijah 4 times a day, and I'm talking about big plates. And my child is like 100 pounds, and he is 16. And it's because his metabolism is super high, but I feed him so much. Now, I told y'all I treat all my kids normal. That child is the most stubborn child I ever met in my life. I don't know where he get that from, because I don't know if I'm that stubborn. But yeah, he's stubborn, and that's my warrior. Like, don't let that blind fool you. I don't know how much he sees, but I know he see enough for you not to play with him. He's like that. And he is non-communication. So what I mean by that is Elijah talks very well. He just does not communicate like we do. If I say hey to Elijah, he's not going to say, hey mom, how you doing? He going to usually say something that he is listening around the whole area, because once you lose one sense, all the other senses are heightened, and he hears very well, very well. And he repeats everything someone says. And I've told people so many times, stop having conversations around this child, because y'all think these kids be paying attention. Elijah come home and tell everybody's business. I know people from the business he done told me that he done overheard them say. And I'm being truthful, and he does not communicate like we do. He just rambles. If he hear a keyword, he's rambling about something that he done heard somebody else say and do. The school provided Elijah with an iPad that talks for him. That is Elijah. The next child is Jacob. Go look in the Bible. Read on Jacob. Jacob was diagnosed with ADHD. Jacob also has a speech impairment, and Jacob has an educational diagnosis of autism. Now, Jacob was born at 32 weeks. Jacob was more of a full-term baby. So I don't have many complications with Jacob. Just really understanding what he's saying is the complication I have. And I do feel like he's going to grow out of that as he gets older and continuing reading books, because words starting to be more clearer every day. Jacob is currently 10. He'll be 11 in November. I do hear where his speech is catching up. Let me know if this is you. This is me, and I'm going to have a very transparent moment. As I am getting older and I'm overseeing my kids and what's going on with them, I'm realizing that was me when I was younger. I think I had a speech impairment because when I was younger, I used to talk and people would tell me to slow down because I was talking too fast. And I remember, because Jacob is currently in a self-contained class, I remember being in a self-contained class when I was in elementary school. Back then, they told me or us that it was because I was in the same class as my cousin. And my cousin had always believed that I was moved out of her class because we were relatives. No, girl, I was moved out of your class because I need to be in a self-contained class to learn. So I remember me being in that class as I see my kids developing. It brings back a lot of memories. And when I was in school, they didn't diagnose us with autism. I think we had hyperactive because they had Ritalin. But I wasn't on any medication or anything like that. I probably should have been on medication. Now looking back, Jacob is in a self-contained class and he is thriving in that class. I do give him medication. I did not tell y'all about Elijah medication. I touch on that at the end. I do give him medication. He is currently on Vyvanse 30 milligrams. He takes that before school. And at night, he takes 1% guanfacine clonidine 0.1 milligram. He also loves to draw. He is a wonderful drawer. He has the biggest heart, but baby, that thing is sneaky. And he have a plan. They be planning stuff on me. I have to always go back to the drawing board. Like, did I do this as a child? Is this something new? Like, they always have a plan for me. So everything that Bible say about Jacob, believe it. I was right in naming Jacob. I always knew I was gonna have another son, and I always knew I was gonna name that child Jacob. Honey. So on to my next child. That is Israel. Israel and Jacob are twins. Israel was born at 30 weeks as well. Israel was more premature. And the reason why Israel was more premature is because I was losing Israel around about 5 weeks. Around about 5 or 6 weeks, I was told that I was going to probably have a miscarriage with Israel. So the doctor had said if I made it to 13 weeks, I was going to have a cerclage. A cerclage is when they put your cervix in like a balloon shape, and they put a metal clip to close up your cervix during your pregnancy. I made it to 13 weeks and had the cerclage. I was doing fine, went home on bed rest, went to work, and had another cerclage. So I had another cerclage at like 26 weeks because the first one started leaking. So he came out maybe a pound less than Jacob. They consider him more of a preemie. They both was in the same rooms. They had different incubators, and they stayed in the hospital 3 weeks because they was doing so good, latched on to the bottle real well. I really believe they left my kids in the hospital based off of my medical history because they did fine. And I had mentioned that I was going to say something to the doctors when I got up there before I was told they was being discharged about discharging them because they were doing fine. And when I got there, the nurse practitioner came in and said, "Hey, we're discharging them tomorrow." I was so excited about that because it was hard for me to have to lead them, even though it was a schedule and a routine I shared with someone. It still was hard for me to lead them, but I had to take care of Elijah. So that was difficult. And parents who are dealing with that, we need to have a little bit of patience with them. They are not able to come to the hospital like that. Thank God they have created these cameras now to where you can't oversee your child if you're not able to come to the hospital like that. Thank God for the Ronald McDonald House. That is, please, if you go to McDonald's and they have that case, drop a coin, drop some money. That funds the Ronald McDonald House. Thank you for all of the volunteers that drop off food to the Ronald McDonald House, that sponsor kids during holidays and Christmas when their family have to stay at the Ronald McDonald House. The Ronald McDonald House is an awesome and wonderful resource, and I am so grateful to be able to have housing. Both times I had to stay at the hospital for a long period of time. Thank God for the Ronald McDonald House. So please, if you want to support any charities, the Ronald McDonald House is a wonderful charity for those families who have kids in the hospital and they stay in different states or cities. Israel had issues with his hip. Israel's medical diagnosis is autism, Israel functions at the highest level of autism. He has a hard time processing information. I do a lot of hands-on activities with Israel, teaching him how to do things that'll keep his mind occupied. He also always have to have something in his hand, and then it's usually in his right hand, a straw, a string, like the little tags that come off of clothes. I also have a tendency to have things neat. But he is so smart, and he has one of the biggest hearts as well. He always know what to do next, because I have all my kids on a routine. We are in this together. I am a single parent, as I stated before, and I lean and depend on them the same way they lean and depend on me. However, I don't make them obligated to each other because they are siblings. They are not parents. So I don't make them obligated to each other, but we all function as a family. All support each other. However, Israel is just more on top of it. So when it's time for me to change Elijah, I might say, hey, Elijah, go take your pull up to the trash can. Israel will come and bring him another pull up. Like, that's the heart that Israel has. However, he steals. He steals. And I tell people all the time, if you like your favorite food, if you like your favorite candy, if you like that toy, keep it on you at all times around my child. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because, once again, I treat my kids normal. And when I say he steals, he steals. When we go into the store, he has to walk around with his hands in his pocket. I do not leave him at home. Never. He goes everywhere with me. I have locks on the refrigerator. I have locks everywhere. The child steals, and he quick and he good at it. I'm talking about real good at it. Make you have to question yourself. Did you buy it? Did I buy it? Like, he's good, but I'm quicker too. I meet him where he at when he steals. I don't play that. I'm bringing it up to you because I want to know. Can any other parents identify with what I'm saying? I do not play about that behavior. I don't care what the medical diagnosis is, you know right from wrong, and we're going to function with accountability in this house. Special needs or not, all my kids function on a level of accountability, because if I don't teach you, the streets will, the jail cell will, and they don't care about you having special needs. And my kids are African American men, and we see what's going on with African American men in this country. I know a lot of people think I am a little aggressive. I am. I don't even deny it. I'm very aggressive when it comes to parenting my children, because I want my children to be outstanding citizens, because I stay on top of them. Once again, it happens. He is a child, and I do handle him as a child, but we know right from wrong. So we are getting better with keeping our hands to our side and in our pockets, but we still gotta watch him. Still gotta watch him. And I do let anyone around me know he steals. Yes. Okay. Now with Israel, let's move on to Grace. I want to say this. Anybody who knew me at Grace's age, I apologize. I am so sorry. Grace, I wanted that girl so bad. Y'all do not understand. I wanted that girl the same way I wanted those twins. I prayed for my twins. I tied for my twins. I wanted those twins. But Grace is a different. I don't know where she come from. She came from me. Listen, she is me all over again. This child is so intelligent. Grace has not been diagnosed with anything. I did bring it up to Dr. Hornsby. Dr. Hornsby is a psychiatrist. Dr. Hornsby said nothing is wrong with Grace. Nothing is wrong with Grace. Y'all, but Grace is true. Grace, Lord Jesus. I don't know. In the future, I will be doing interviewing with my kids. They definitely will be doing it. Because this is a family podcast. This is a real podcast about my real life. So I definitely will be doing interviews with my kids. You'll see what I'm talking about when we do it with Grace. Grace is very intelligent. She wants to be a Barbie girl in a Barbie's world. She goes to daycare and she is excelling in daycare. They have a wonderful program and my baby is very smart. She knows her colors. She knows her ABCs. She knows how to spell her name. She knows how old she is. She knows her date of birth. She knows her family name. She is very smart. But with that comes a cost. Because with her knowing all of that, she says too much. When I was younger, I talked too much. As an adult, I talk too much. So I try to correct that in her now. Like, soon as she start, like, stop. Because stop. It's enough. Give me time to digest what you're saying. Or I give her the phone and let her call her other parent. Tell it to the other parent. I really can't take them. Tell it to the other parent. But she is so smart and I'm just so excited for her. But she has taken on this motherly like role. I never gave it to her. It's just like she just came into it. If she see me doing something, she just naturally falls in line with it. Like they just naturally cleans up the kitchen. She naturally just go ahead and sweep and she makes them hold her dustpan as she's sweeping. She makes them get out of the bed while they're asleep. Also, she does not know how to open doors. And it's one thing I have taught my boys to always escort her. She does not know how to get in and out of the car. They open the doors for her for everything. She is so rotten. And I know I had a hand in it, but let me be clear. They all are so rotten. It's just that she carry her rotten where people could see it. My boys kind of like nonchalant about it. They know they spoiled, but they just nonchalant. No, she loud with it. She just let people know I let her do whatever she wants. She too loud with it. I always say God gave me my best friend. I birthed my best friend, even though I don't talk to her about adult things like that. What I mean is I could have that moment where we could do our nails, we could do our toes. This past weekend, she helped me clean out my room, helped me throw away some things. Like I could have those moments with her until I put her out. But I could have those moments with her. So I really birthed my best friend. So this is what I mean about having kids with special needs and without special needs in one household. Everybody is on their own level of understanding. Everybody have different emotions. All my kids go to their own schools. That is very difficult for me. Jacob goes to one school, Israel go to another, Elijah go to another, Grace go to daycare. That's a lot on me, and it's just me. I have to process my emotion, take care of me so I can help them with their emotions. It takes a lot to just understand what each person is going through daily from sun up to sundown. If you have friends or family or someone that's close to you that is living with this dynamic, they have to put that all into what's going on in the home. They have to put that all into their kids. And some people lack support. Some people may have support. Just be mindful of the magnitude of emotions and feelings and things they could be going through. Get them out the house. Take them out. That's something I do. I take myself on a date every single week. Just me. I don't take my kids with me. I take myself on a date every single week. I'm not only just dealing with my kids, I have to deal with my supervisors on 2 jobs each week. I love y'all because I know y'all watching. But I have to deal with work. I have to deal with school. I have to deal with things that's needed in the house. So I definitely have to take care of myself. This is prayer. Whatever you believe in, whoever you submit your life to, and it's bringing a positive outcome, seek guidance in that area. I am a Christian, so I seek out God, and this is how I have maintained throughout the years of taking care of my kids, leaning on God's word. Because the outside looking in, even with me talking about it, you would say, my gosh, that is a lot. Every time I tell somebody my story, that is the reason why I said, let me do a podcast. They always say, I can't believe you are still going with all the things that you have going on. And the reason why I'm able to keep going is because of God. And God has put some amazing people in my life, and I'm very appreciative of that. It's just sometimes we just need somebody to talk to download on. And I know that could be overwhelming for the next person. That's why I always encourage therapy. Go to therapy, because dealing with this can make you very angry. Dealing with the hospitals and the diagnoses and the doctor's appointments and not understanding and having to figure things out, along with making sure you pay your bills, along with taking care of yourself, along with taking care of the other kids. It's a lot, but that's what I'm here for. Reach out to me. Let's talk. And I want to get to know you. I want you to know that I'm here for your support, because I can at least relate to what you have going on. And that's what the community is for, moments like these. So how did you guys like today's episode? Oh, I forgot to mention, I said I was going to review Elijah's medication. Elijah takes methylphenidate along with risperidone in the morning. And the methylphenidate, I think, is 25 milligrams, and the risperidone is 1 milligram. And at night, he takes guanfacine, 3 milligrams, trazodone, 100 milligrams. Israel takes Vyvanse, 20 milligrams, and he is on guanfacine 3 milligrams and trazodone 50 milligrams. Now, these medications do not make them sleep throughout the whole night. No matter what the doctors say, they do not sleep the whole night. These children definitely wakes up in the middle of the night. And by me working these jobs at different times of the day, my kids is on my schedule. So when I think I'm sneaking in the kitchen, they already in the kitchen. They already there. They done beat me there. So yes, these medication does not last all night, but they do help them sleep and get rest and let them rest their mind, because kids with special needs, their minds go, and it never stops. So the medication kind of slows that down so they could get some rest. If you're not the type of person to use medication, that is fine too. The gummies that I have used for the kids is melatonin. That's the only thing I've used, the melatonin, and hit or miss. Depends on the milligrams that you use. Do you guys use melatonin? And if you do, what milligrams do you use for your kids if you don't give them the medication? If you don't give them medication for their behavior or for them to have some type of control, is there something holistic that you do? Please let me know. herandallthemkids.com. Let me know. Tell me what you guys do. What is the remedy for your children? All in all, I just like to say thank y'all for listening to me today. This was a great conversation. I hope what I said resonated with someone. For all the ones who have shared, liked, or listened, or signed on and watched my podcast, I appreciate you so much. Once again, when it comes to my kids, don't let it come to my kids. Bye.